Hello and welcome to Cavaliers Corner. I'm here with the head football coach of Walsh University, Dan Pfeiffer. And Dan, we're through week one. Took one on the chin a little bit, but that was just for the first half. It came out in the second half against Wayne State, a very talented GLIAC team, of which we used to be part of the conference, and looked pretty good. So I think you got a lot to look forward to coming up from week one to week two.
Yeah, well, we did some good things. The first half, the offense was doing fairly well, moved the ball a little bit. We couldn't punch it in the red zone. The defense, I think, was trying to find themselves a little bit as to what was going on. And then in the second half, defense came together. We got 2 turnovers and didn't allow them to score. Offensively, we kind of did the same thing. We moved the ball, but we couldn't punch it in the red zone. So there were some really good things that came out of it, that we can build on and get better. And they're fixable things is the big thing. And so we got to get those fixed. And as I told them after the game, the biggest thing with us is most teams usually make their biggest jump from weeks 1 to week 2, and that's what we got to do. So this week's going to be a big week for us. As can we get those mistakes fixed and then build from there. So, but there were definitely some positives and some things we can fix, but all in all, it wasn't bad.
And let's talk about the defense first of all too. There's quite a few big plays given up that resulted in touchdowns for Wayne State, but like you said, you fixed that in the second half and shut them out. What was the pep talk, so to speak, or what did you guys change to make that happen?
Yeah, there was nothing that we had to do kind of a pep talk. It was just doing your job. The one big run they get before the half, which shouldn't happen. You got some young guys on the backside that are loafing, thinking the play's done, and it's not. And the guy breaks tackle and he's gone. And then we harp on that all the time about you can't have loafs on defense. You got to be running the ball until the whistle blows. Hopefully now they had to learn the hard way. Give up a touchdown before the half. That was still somewhat of a ball game. At that time. Now they have some data, I guess, to show them that, hey, this is why it's important and why we harp on it. And so just little things like that. Being alignment and assignment sound. Making sure we're lining up where we're supposed to be. All 11. Same thing offensively is assignment sound. Are we going to where we're supposed to go to? And those things. And we did it at times for 4 or 5 plays in a row. And then 6th one we don't do it. And so that's what we got to get fixed. This coming week is being consistent, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plays in a row, doing our jobs and not 3 or 4, and then having a mental breakdown on the 5th one, which usually leads to bad things.
Now, if you take away a couple of those big plays, at least 2 of them, the big run and the big pass, you outgain them on offense as well. So, what are some things to look forward to from week 1 to week 2 on offense?
Yeah, we just got to sustain now. We get all the way down there. I think we were in the red zone 4 times. Came away with 1 score, and if you're going to win games, you've got to put the ball in the red zone and when you're down there. And so, we just got to execute better. The field shrinks on you down there when you're offensively. So, your guys got to make plays, and you can't have a mental error down there. Twice we were down there in 2nd and short and had a penalty. A false start puts us in 2nd and long instead of 2nd and 2. Or 7. And so, those are penalties that when you're going against a good team are going to hurt you. Now they can dictate what you're going to do when it's 2nd and long rather than 2nd and 2. And so those things we got to get fixed. And those are imposed penalties. They didn't do anything to cause us that, we false start, and that hurt us. And so a couple of times we were down there that backed us up. Those are the little things that we got to get fixed. We can't do those imposed penalties, that'll hurt you. So if we get those fixed and they just keep working execution, I think we'll be okay. And
it looked like the offense was pretty balanced too. You had some short passes that set up the run and vice versa, and the run set up the pass. Were you happy with the way that turned out?
Yeah, we want to be balanced. That's the whole key. Yeah. And we're going to do a lot of different ways, but I thought we did a pretty good job. The biggest thing that we can't do is turn the ball over. The first series is still a ball game. We turn over in our own end zone, gives up 7 points there. So they're up on us 14-0. Before we really do anything. Yeah. We've been really good at taking care of the football, so that was kind of a surprise that happened. We threw 2 picks that were kind of unnecessary picks, that we didn't have to do. They were just forced balls that didn't have to be there, and we can't do that as a football team. We cannot turn it over at all, and we fixed those, and then we're okay, and then we got to stay balanced as well. And our big thing to our guys told us, when you get into Division II football, in any level of football. There's going to be times there where there's a chance to make a play. You got to make the play. There's no do-overs. You can't. We'll run that play again later on. They got it fixed now. You can't do it again. So when the opportunity's there, we got to hit them. We thought we had 3 or 4 opportunities where we could have got a big play for a touchdown, and we didn't hit them. We didn't see them. And the same thing defensive. There's going to be 3 or 4 plays where you got the right blitz called and everything's perfect. you got to get the sack or you got to get the pick.
Yeah.
When you got everything the way you want it, you got to make the play. And he said you can't go back and then do it over again because they're going to get it fixed. And those are what we definitely got to get mixed, which is going to lead to points on the board then too. Is getting those 3 or 4 plays on both sides of the ball and getting those and taking advantage of that opportunity when it's there.
Now, going to week 2, it's somewhat of a familiar opponent. We haven't really played them a ton over the years. I think last year was our first game against them. Talk about Saginaw Valley.
Very similar to Wayne State. It's a GLIAC team, again, upper echelon GLIAC team. They're going to be physical and they're going to be fast, just like we just saw. So from that regard, it's kind of nice that we're seeing somewhat of a similar team, and on both sides of the ball. And so we don't have to change a whole lot of what we're doing, on either side. It's not like we're going against the option or something. I mean, they're spread teams and they're base, defense as well. So it allows us to get better this week. But we got to be ready to play. They're going to be physical. That we know they got guys that can run. In their secondary and offensively, and they went pretty much handled Alderson Brodus this weekend. So their special teams are really good. They had a kickoff for a touchdown. They had a punt return for a touchdown. So they can score points in all 3 areas, and so we got to be ready for that and be able to play 60 minutes of football in all 3 phases.
Another important key factor for all teams, of course, is staying healthy. Are we looking all right on that front?
We're healthy. Everybody's got some nicks and bruises and stuff, but nobody that's out. So that's a good sign. We got out of the game, pretty healthy with everything, and so, we're as full strength as we're going to be right now. We're going into week 2, so it's. We just had a team meeting yesterday and talked about, it's more about us than it is anybody. It doesn't matter really who we play. We're watching film, obviously, and be able to figure out what we can and can't do against them, but it's about us. Are we getting better? And you can't win a game on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but you can definitely lose a game on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday if you don't go out there and practice for 3 days. And that's really our big sticking point, is being able to put a string of practices together, that can get you to Saturday. And I told you, in 20-some plus years of coaching, I've never been involved where you've had a great week of practice and go out there and play bad on a Saturday, And so if we can get a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice together, then you feel pretty good that you're going to, show up and play well on Saturday. Doesn't mean you're going to win, but you're going to play well. And I always said I can handle getting beat. If we go out there and play well and the other team's better than us, that's great. But we can't go out there and turn it over 4 times and have a bunch of penalties and this and that, and give somebody a game. That's where I think coaches get frustrated that we're not playing up to our ability. So I think it's going to start today. We'll see what kind of practice we have this week. And if we have a good one, then, anything can happen when it comes on Saturday then at that point in time. But, like I said, we can't win it this week, but we can definitely lose it during this week if we don't practice well.
Well, definitely looking forward to seeing what we put forth for week 2 up at Saginaw Valley. Kickoff is at 3 p.m. All the links will be available online on our football schedule on the webpage. Thank you for joining me this week, and we'll be talking again next week after the game.
Thank you.
For head coach Dan Pfeiffer, I'm Logan Smith. Go Cavs!